So, welcome to the session. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. What about you?
I'm also doing good. How was your day today? Anything special about your day?
Nothing special, just as usual, same, same.
Usual. How is your usual day? Usually, I mean, what does it look like?
So my usual is doing the chores
Mm-hmm.
at my home, and whatever my parents tell me to do, I just do it. And currently, I'm not working, so I am at home right now, and
Right.
that's what my usual day is like.
Okay. So you're not working as in you've taken like a leave, or you're not working as in you
No,
are
no,
going
no.
to start another job?
I'm going to start on another job.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, finally some time at home. That's good then. Like no boss on your head for a few days.
Yeah,
So hopefully that's a good thing. But anyhow. All right, okay. Before I proceed ahead, do you happen to have any sort of doubts, queries, questions, anything of that sort? Anything you
no,
wish
no,
to
no,
clear?
nothing, nothing.
All right, okay. Right, so if there are no doubts or questions, then I'm going to proceed ahead with our
Mm,
topic for today, right? Our
mhm,
topic for today is big cities or small towns. We'll start talking about it, but at any point, if you feel bored or you wish to talk about a different
mhm,
topic of your choice, you can let me know.
mhm.
I'll change the topic, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
All right, okay. So, talking about big cities and small towns, first of all, what is your preference? Where would you want to be?
My
Big cities or
preference is a
small towns?
big city,
Oh, why?
and I'm
That's,
saying that
that's the
because I'm
reason.
from a small town.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Why? Why a big city particularly?
Because I've lived all my life in a small town, so I think
Hmm.
that big city would be quite exciting and something new to learn each and every day.
Hmm.
That's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
true. Yeah, that's
What
true. I
about
mean, you
you?
will get to, I think, learn a lot. That's true. Me, I was born and raised in a big city, and I prefer to live in a big city.
Mm.
I don't wish to
Where
go
are
to
you
a
from,
small
by the
town.
way?
I'm from Delhi. I'm from Delhi,
All
and I
right.
don't wish to move to small towns because I think anybody who's lived in a big city for a very long time, they cannot adjust to a small town or a
Mm.
more rural area for that matter. Small towns are still adjustable because mostly all facilities have started to reach everywhere now.
Okay. So,
So yeah,
can you think of some problems that a person will face if they move from a big city to a small town?
from a big city to a small town.
Mm.
Okay, one is definitely the cultural difference that hits up. Big cities
Mm.
have a very mixed culture, right? So there is no separate culture. We just have a one modern culture where anybody does anything and
Mm.
everything
Mm.
simply because nobody has the time to look into your life. When you move
Mm.
to a small town, that's a huge problem because so like a lot of my relatives live in smaller towns. So whenever we visit there, it's like everybody's into everyone's business, and anybody who's from a big city, they wouldn't like it. They would hate it with all their heart, because yeah, there's
Do
a
you
lot of
think that because in the small town people don't their schedule is not as packed as it is in big cities, that is why they
hmm,
get so much time to think about others, what they are doing in their lives.
that's
But
true. That's
do you
very true.
think that if in a small town their schedules would be packed, would they have the time still to poke into other people's businesses?
I don't think so. They would. Culturally, yes, it would still be there, but it would
Mm.
reduce to a certain limit because the thing is, if you are busy all day, you stop caring about others. That's just
Yeah.
something that happens.
Mm.
I've seen that happening with me. I've seen that happening around me all the time. The like when we started to grow up, most of the friends lose contact simply because everybody just gets like really busy in their lives,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So instead of just like if you want to meet your friend, you really have to make a whole schedule that everybody needs to be free on that day
Mm.
on that time.
And you
So
meet
yeah,
those friends with whom you are very close,
yeah,
isn't it?
exactly, yeah, because you don't have the time to hang out just for fun. Like you kind of stop doing that. You hang out with people that you actually care about and that
Yeah.
are actually matter to you. Otherwise you're just like, I want to be home and I don't wish to interact to anybody
Mhm.
else, because being in a
So,
big city you're interacting all the time, like
w-
not by choice.
what's your profession? Like you do
What's
this
my
full time on
profession?
Clapingo?
Oh, no, 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 no. This is just a hobby. So that's why I
All
do
right.
it.
All right.
This is definitely not my profession. The thing is, I am very passionate about English as a language, and I'm
Mhm.
very interested into English literature.
Mhm.
So that's why I picked up the teaching job of English. But apart
Okay.
from that, my main like forte is psychology. So I'm still doing my master's in clinical psychology.
Okay.
Um, but yeah,
So
I
are
think once I
you
get done
attending
with
some
that.
college or some online
Yeah,
courses?
yeah, I'm going to my college. I have a regular
Okay.
college.
Okay. Like
Yeah,
physical classes, not
yeah.
online classes.
Like no, 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 no. I have regular college going on,
Okay.
just like normal college
So
experiences.
you are doing a master's in psychology. Do you have an interest in that? Because if
Yeah.
someone really has an interest, then they pursue a master's in that particular
Hmm.
field, I think.
Yeah, I have very deep interest in it. It's kind of the only subject that makes sense to me and that I actually enjoy doing. Not that I'm not berating any other subject. I'm just
Mhm.
saying that I don't understand or I don't grasp the hold of other subjects. I
Okay.
personally get psychology very easily and it's something that I understand very easily. So
Mhm.
hence I pursued it. And yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me as a subject. It's very
Okay.
practical, very applicable.
Great.
So that's it. What about you? What's your profession like? Like, what field are you working in or wish to work in?
I completed my bachelor's recently in computer science engineering.
Ah, okay. Engineering. Fair enough.
Mhm.
That's 4 years of pure torture, but
Yeah.
gets you money, so that's fair. But at least you did computer science because most of the engineers that I know, like a lot of my friends, they did mechanical or civil or something like that, and then they shifted to IT later on.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
it's better to just directly do IT and then get
No,
into that.
yeah. So it so at that point in your life, before 4 years, very few
Hmm.
people have control over what they want to do in life, if that makes any sense to you. Like if whatever the
Hmm.
family tells you, you start doing that studies in the majority of the cases. And that was in my case as well. So I didn't know
Hmm.
anything. I just thought I love maths. I love
Hmm.
math, I would say. So my father
Hmm.
asked me two questions. Do you like biology or do you like math? So I said math. So he put me in PCM, and after that I saw
Oof,
everybody doing engineering. So even I went on.
man, that's so sad. Um, but wow, that's like a
My
very sad way
interest
to pursue a
my
career.
interest is in business. Like
Hmm.
I what interests me is different ways of making
Maybe
money.
an
And
MBA later on, of course, like not immediately, but yeah.
I don't think MBA is worth it, because I don't think 2 years of studying at a
Hmm.
college doesn't really help a person grow. Because I think if you really want to learn, you have to do something on your own, and you get to learn
Hmm.
from your mistakes. Because I
Hmm.
have my personal view that in the colleges they teach a lot of theory, and the practical world is very different from the theoretical
Yeah,
world.
that's true.
So
Hmm.
I don't feel like an MBA, it will help you for 5%
Yeah, I think
at
it just
least.
helps you in building a lot of networks and
Mhm.
being very like social because
Mhm.
that's something I see a lot of people lacking. Like if I just
Mhm.
keep you in a room full of people and I tell you to interact to everybody
Mhm.
and you can choose Hindi or English, both languages,
Yeah.
depending upon what the other person is speaking.
Mhm.
Um, it's very hard for people to do that. People find a hard time in impressing others. People find a hard time in
Yes.
starting a
That's
conversation.
why that's why I
Yeah.
said that once you get out in the market and you face those challenges head on, then you understand what it
Hmm.
takes to build something, make money out of it. I'm
Hmm.
saying all this
That's
gibberish.
true.
It might not make sense to you, but
That makes sense.
uh,
Everybody has their own
so the
experiences, so
gist of what I was trying to say is that you have to go in the market and you have to face it. You have to see at the ground level,
yeah. Hmm.
and not from the theoretical point of view. That's
Yeah,
my
that's understandable.
that's
That's
my
true,
one
actually.
liner to what I wanted to say.
That's true. I think I agree with that because, like, even if I talk about my upbringing, I would say that there's a lot more that you learn from what's happening around you than what's in the
Mm.
textbooks. Even though I was
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
very
yeah.
nerdy kid, I was like a very class topper kind of a kid, but there is some point in your life where you realize, yeah, this is entirely useless. Um,
Okay.
and then you're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
my
yeah. I
experiences have helped
completely
me
agree
more.
with that.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, about the choices thing, I feel like people that's might be again a cultural difference because people around me they had like a lot of choices in front of them as to what they wanted to choose in terms of career.
mm,
Maybe because it's a big city, maybe because they got more exposure, maybe because parents are more lenient and
mm,
trustworthy of different types of careers.
mm,
People here are open to career counseling and stuff like that. So that
mm.
helps somewhere or the other. Aptitude testing and everything is very common in
Mm.
Delhi, for a certain class of people. Again, it sounds
I
bad,
want
but
to
that's
stop
just
you.
how
I
it is.
just wanted to ask that you're recording from your side, right? You're recording the session
No,
from
no,
your
no,
side.
no. This is
So is it
automatic. I cannot
getting
stop it
automatically
or close
recorded?
it. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from your side, is the like you're on one side and I'm on one side, right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
but the meeting is held by like a third party, right? So I cannot.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just
Okay.
enter the meeting.
Okay.
I
Okay. Okay.
cannot, like, even when I leave the meeting, I cannot do that end for all thing that usually you can do on Zoom if you have started the meeting, right? So
Okay.
that is, you are the person who's controlling the meeting. I cannot do that here. I can leave the session if I want to, but I
Okay.
cannot close it for both of us. I cannot close the
Okay. Okay.
recording. I cannot do anything like that.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Okay.
entirely everything recording.
Mm.
It becomes like goes to the Clapingo. It doesn't stay with
I
me.
wanted to ask you one question. Like
Hmm.
you might be taking a lot of sessions in a day and meeting
Hmm.
more than 10 people or 15 people. So do you sometimes get frustrated as a tutor talking with different kinds of people? And another question to it is that when people are coming from all different parts of the country and with very different kinds of level in spoken English, so does
Hmm.
it hamper your English as well?
No, my English doesn't get hampered. One simple reason for that is, like, I'm not boasting about myself. I'm just saying the simple reason for that is I have spoken English since I was like a very young child,
Mm.
probably 4 or 5 years
Okay.
old, right? So I started speaking at that age. And
Mm.
I've continuously used the language since then. So no matter what somebody does, it doesn't hamper my English or change my pattern of speaking,
Mhm.
simply because I'm very comfortable in the language. Like for
Mm.
me, it's more comfortable for myself to express in English in comparison to Hindi, even though Hindi is
Okay.
my mother tongue. So that's the thing. So it doesn't hamper. Another thing that
I
happens
can
is, yeah.
relate with you on that point. Like in sixth and seventh grade, even I was told to communicate in English. But
Hmm,
after that, when I did my schooling from seventh grade onwards,
hmm,
so my communication became Hindi, and I completely lost touch of my English. So now I have to consciously remind myself that I have it in me and I want to speak it more.
yeah.
I want to be more fluent and more confident. I have to make that
Hmm.
conscious effort now because I've lost touch of the language.
Yeah, that happens with everybody. That happens with everybody.
Mm,
For me, it's like I will not forget Hindi because that was my primary
mhm,
language. So no matter what anybody does, I will not forget the language.
mm,
And English is something because I speak on a daily basis, so there is no chance I can forget it now
mhm,
because it's too, like, I would say it's a part of, very integral part of my life, because I communicate in this language for
mm,
most of my feelings and emotions. So that's there. But yeah, as for getting frustrated, I don't get frustrated. I don't know about other tutors, but for
mm.
me, the simple reason is I'm very extroverted in general also.
Okay.
I enjoy talking to people a lot. Like I can talk all
Mm,
day to people. So I don't mind chit chatting with people, especially if it's
mhm,
benefiting them. That also gives me a positive front out of it. So that's that. So yeah, I don't get bored or frustrated, even if like there are a lot of clients. Like right now,
okay.
I've reduced my hours, so I talk to lesser people now. But I think 2 3 months back, I was taking like 8 hours in the whole
Eight
day.
hours a day and
Yeah, so that
continuously.
meant, like, not continuously. It was like on one stretch, I would take 4 or 5 hours.
Okay. Okay.
So like that. So working for 4 or 5 hours, I would talk to about 10 to 15 different people.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it doesn't really bother me. Like I don't get frustrated by it at all.
Okay.
So that's that.
Great to know
That's
that.
maybe just, yeah, maybe just because it's like I'm extroverted. I think that's the primal cause of it. Like
So, were you
I enjoy.
extroverted from your childhood itself, or you became like this sometime later in your life?
I was an extroverted kid. I was like, yeah, I was
Mhm.
extroverted since my childhood. I was always the person who would like go and approach others
Mm.
and say hi. I have always been that person. I am
Okay,
still
okay,
that person. Like I do that now also, depending upon if I want to. That's it.
okay.
Like that is the something that is like, you grow up and you decide what people you wish to talk to. So yeah,
I
that's
wanted
it.
to ask you something about Delhi. Like
Hmm.
Delhi is known for its pollution. Like,
Yeah.
and is
Oof.
it really a big problem or it's just
Oh
a
yeah.
big hype?
Oh no, no, it's a big problem. If you come from a small town or any hilly area
Mm,
where the air is basically clear,
mm,
and you will come to Delhi, the first thing you will notice is how bad
mm,
the sky is and how bad it is to breathe.
mm.
So yeah.
And uh, I have seen some people who live near whether they are wastelands in Delhi, and people living there say that the smell comes in their homes and it's very suffocating for
Oh
them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's almost everywhere in Delhi. I'll tell you that because the problem is not just the wastelands. That's of course one part where the smell is very strong and very bad. But other
Mhm,
areas also, like Delhi has a lot of sewage issues and a lot of garbage disposal issues.
mm.
So the smell is pretty much in most of the parts in Delhi. If you have like
And
a quiet neighborhood, you're lucky.
what about the cold there? What's the
It's
temperature right now
cool.
in Delhi?
I mean, I'll have to look up. I think right now in my area it's about 12 degrees, so that's not
Okay.
very cold. That's not very cold. A couple of days back, I think two
In
days
Delhi,
back.
it gets quite cold in the
Yeah,
mornings.
it does. It does. It does. In the morning, the temperature is quite cool. In the morning, sometimes it's like you wake up and it's like 4 or 5 degrees. So that's
Mm,
cold. And the
okay.
wind is very chilly. So yeah, but I think Delhi people enjoy cold. Like I really enjoy winters because it's very
Okay.
short-lived. It's barely 2 months. After December, like November is the pleasant cold where the temperature stays between 17 to 22,
Mm,
23 degrees. Very
mm,
pleasant weather.
mm.
And February is the same, and March is just summer afterwards. So that's there. So the actual winter is like
When
Jan and
winter arrives, I
December.
like summers, and when arrives, I like winters. I like
Ah,
it
that's
in
indecisive.
the middle.
Okay, so you're more of like an autumn fan, right? So that's that.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't blame you. Autumn weather is very perfect because it's like you don't have to layer up too much and you don't have to like eat ice cream all day to keep yourself cool. So that's that. Like that weather in October is, I think, the one of the most perfect ones. So that's that. Where are you from, by the way? I didn't ask. Sorry.
I'm from West Bengal.
Ah, you're from West Bengal. Ah, okay. Kolkata gets. I mean, I've
Now,
been to Kolkata particularly. You might not be living there, but
I was
that's
about
my
to say
only
that.
exposure to. Yeah, that's my only exposure to West Bengal, Kolkata and Darjeeling, of course.
Okay, okay.
So that's it. Darjeeling is like a hill station, so we're not gonna count
Yeah,
that. But yeah,
it's
but
near
I
the
think it gets quite
mountains.
humid, no? Yeah, it's near the mountains.
Where in my place, yes, it gets very humid.
Yeah, West Bengal, that's the thing. Like
Like
even I've been to Kolkata and
in the
like that's really
summertime,
nice.
it's not the sun is not pricking your skin, but you will become
Hmm.
very sticky
Yeah,
if
that's the
I'm
thing. It
explaining
gets
it
like
correctly.
no, that's true. It happens because that's what humid weather does, right? Everything
Yeah.
gets like really sticky and sweaty. It's very annoying.